1987, Milan. There's a small coffee business called Il Giornale. It's a family-run business, and entrepreneur Schultz comes to Milan, checks his business out, and sees it's got a lot going for it. This is a family business. This is back in 1987, but this is what we know today as Starbucks. Now, Starbucks is one of my favorite businesses to talk about because it's the exact transformation that I do for businesses, fleet management companies I work for, like the skip hire businesses, the tradespeople, the actors even. I've worked with someone within pretty much every industry you can think of, and this is the exact transformation I take them through. Now, Schultz, he loves the whole family European heritage behind this business. He loves that they're the best at going out, sourcing the best coffee beans. So what he does is he decides to revolutionize their branding and cater for the American people. In my last couple of videos, I've spoken about a couple of concepts, one being the character avatar, and the second being Aristotle's 3 pillars of persuasion. Now, Aristotle is a Greek philosopher. He was a tutor of Alexander the Great, and he spoke about 3 concepts which pretty much everyone uses to persuade people, get them to buy their product. What Schultz did, he really sat down and he thought, who are we trying to target? The average American, but he's trying to target working professionals, creatives. He really envisions this coffee shop being a third home, really. People are at their actual homes, then they go to work, and then this is the place to be. And he speaks directly to that person. I'm going to talk a bit about practical steps after, but let me just get through this. So the 3 pillars of persuasion. Now we understand who Schultz is trying to target. We've got the 3 pillars of persuasion. Number 1 is logos, which is logic. Logos for Schultz was all about the European heritage, the siren logo. The fact that you don't have to rush in this place. You can just sit down, get your work done, and it's just all of the interesting facts about the European heritage. The fact that Starbucks is a place to go if you want really specialist beans from Europe, and like it's the best product all around. Then we have pathos, which is the emotion. This is about the community that Starbucks provided for its customers. It's like the place where you could go, whereas most people would go to a bar. For working professionals and creators, that wouldn't really be their thing, so they'd go straight to Starbucks. Most importantly, along with that emotional, it was a sense of belonging. It was a place to go. You didn't have to rush in this place. Finally, we have ethos, which is the credibility behind it. This ties into everything. So this is their Italian heritage, their history, the fact that they go out and get specialist beans sourced from the best places on earth. And that right there is credibility. If you're a video editor and you can go ahead and get the best piece of software to edit videos for people, or if you're a videographer and you can get the best camera and you can actually make sure you communicate that directly with your customers, that is credibility in itself. Now, Schultz, he ties this all together. This is what we now envision as Starbucks, and this was going back, 50 years ago now. So this is exactly what you need to be doing for your business. It doesn't matter if you're a personal brand, an actor, a model. It doesn't matter if you're a trade person, freelancer, whatever you are. This concept applies to you. Now you know this, what do you actually do with it? So I'm going to give you a couple of really good practical steps. I'm going to go ahead and drop the character avatar document in the description. I speak about this in every video, but I'm really trying to tie this all together. So go ahead, fill it out, and then we've got to really have a big think about how to put this all together for your business. You're the only person that knows your business. You know your business better than anyone. You already have a vision. Fill out that character avatar document. If I was to give you one piece of advice, think about their number 1 motivation. For Starbucks, this was having a place outside of a chaotic home for working professionals and the work itself. This was a time in America where being a hard worker was absolutely imperative to being successful. There's a big culture around being in the office for 12 hours a day, going straight home, dealing with your family, doing the same again. So having that escape route for working professionals, creators, whatever it is, was why Starbucks is so successful today. It's why they can charge £14 for a caramel frappe or whatever. More of a Prete Manger guy myself, I've got to be honest. Now, I'm also going to go ahead and drop a second link in the description. Don't worry guys, this isn't some email list I'm going to get you signed up for. These are just PDF documents for you to fill out. There's also going to be a branding framework document right down there as well. Now, this is going to go through the 3 pillars of persuasion. This is going to give you the framework you need throughout the duration that your business is operating. It's going to give you the exact framework you need to go ahead and put that logo together, build a website, put a sales script together, provide training to your staff members for how to pick up the phone. Because you've got to think, these touch points are absolutely essential for actually achieving the brand that you want. Being able to charge more, get more customers through the door, get more loyal customers. You really need to think of each touch point as a vote for your new identity as a brand. So that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to fill both of these documents out. And at this point, you're going to have a complete base, to have an understanding of who you're talking to, and as well as how to communicate that throughout the entirety of your business through both of these documents. Now we've done that, it's about actually wrapping things together just like Starbucks did. When you put your logo together, you really need to think about how it's going to make them feel. If you're working with professionals, if you're in some sort of space where compliance is vital, where a lot of things can go wrong, you're going to want a really simple logo, maybe some sort of corporate website. Maybe you're going to want to go with a dark blue to actually instill that trust. But as I said, only you can really know this stuff. And then it comes to the copywriting, exactly how you speak to your customer. If you're helping obese people lose weight, being direct with them, shouting their issues in their face might not be the best approach to go to. But if you're working with bodybuilders that are ultra disciplined, maybe that direct approach will work a lot better. And that goes for the words on the screen as well as talking on the camera, a bit like I'm doing right now. Like for example, me talking to you right now, I speak to business people, so I always start with some sort of anecdote. I try to be quite well spoken, I try to be quite direct, I try to keep emotion out of it as much as possible. I just want to give you the facts you need to know. I want to provide that value, and ultimately I want to get to know some of you. I want to build those connections. I want you guys to reach out to me on LinkedIn. But that's exactly what you need to do for your business. You need to get to the absolute core of this stuff. There are a lot of things that people forget. A lot of people think a brand is just what you see on the outer shell, the website and the logo, but this is absolutely everything from how your team picks up the phone, where your reception desk is positioned when you walk into your office, if you have a physical office, the hold music when you put someone on hold. These are things you really need to think about, but start with the main things and get as many votes as possible for your new identity. Just really try and think about the story I said about Starbucks to you guys today. Really think about the meaning behind that, the Italian heritage, the story, just the in-depth aura behind that story. Having a bit of personality about it, that's never a bad thing either, especially if you're a local business, if you're providing somebody with results. Although you should have a logo, but hiding behind a logo, that's not always the best approach. But at the same time, that sometimes does work, especially if you're working with big corporates and they don't really want to work with just some individual. They want someone that's got staff, big legal teams, etc, etc. Hopefully you guys found this valuable. If you do have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to me via the comment section, or you can send me a message on Instagram. Have a fantastic day.